welcome back to another video. This really popped when I saw it. That to me is a monster increase. Again, this book got hot. This book is ready to go higher.
So let's jump right into it.
We are back today with another statue review from Diamond Select Toys. Without further ado, let's get into the review. What is going on YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles, and thank you for joining me for another video here on the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at 6 books that are actually for sale right now on Instagram through various dealers. We're going to take a look at these books. We're going to look at the GPA averages and see if right now is a good time to buy these books. I think a lot of the Bronze Age, some Silver have gotten crushed over the past couple of years. Some of them are still bottoming. Some of them I think have bottomed, but you know, over the next couple of years they may go up, they may go down. If you're only buying books right now, you should be buying them for the love of the characters, for the history of the characters. You guys know I always say that, but we're going to take a look at them nonetheless. But before we get started in the video, I want to remind you guys, if you're not a current subscriber of the channel, we are giving away this awesome statue once we get to 6,000 subs. Check it out. So for the 6,000 subscriber giveaway, I've decided to give away this awesome Hulk versus Wolverine maquette, measured in about 1/10 scale, and of course features the incredible cover from Incredible Hulk number 181. So if you're a sub, when we get to 6,000, you have a chance to win this awesome statue. But that's not it. If you are a member of the channel, you're going to have a members only giveaway, and we're giving away this awesome custom original art Spider-Man swinging through New York City. So if you're not a member of the channel and are interested, you have a chance to win that thing. With that said, I think we're under 300 away from giving that statue away. So if you haven't hit that sub button, do it now. Hit that like button for me because it does help the channel out. And if you're interested in channel memberships, check out the link below. You won't miss out. With that said, let's check out these books. All right, so the first book we're going to be looking at this week is this copy of Ultimate Fallout 4. You guys know what this book is. It's the first appearance of Miles Morales, the standard cover. Here we have a CGC 9.8, a white pager with that awesome new Miles Morales label. If you guys have been watching my channel for the better part of a year, I've been saying that around $1,500 is a great spot to buy this book. Again, still a lot of them are around for sale. I haven't seen as many as of late, but I always say I prefer the CGC with the new special labels. I think they look great. This one in particular, I think really does the book justice. And again, for around $1,500, I think it's a decent deal at this point. Can the book still drop further? 100% it can. But I think if you're a Miles fan and you think he has lasting power, around that $1,500 range is where I think you're going to get a decent deal for this book. Again, I would not be buying it if I'm not going to hold it for the extreme long term. A lot of copies out there, but I think at $14.99 with this label at a 9.8, I think it will be worth it down the line. Now, as you check out the GPA data, you can see the last sale for this book was $1,528 just this month. And I said there's been a lot of sales of this book recently. The 90-day average was $1,651 on 85 sales. The 12-month rolling average, $1,812, guys, on a whopping 326 sales. That is just freaking crazy. I told you guys there's a lot of copies out there. There are a ton. In 2022, the average was $2,631. That's probably around the high. I know at one point this book was going for almost $4,000. I saw it for sale. And in 2021, the average was $2,540. Like I said before, if you're willing to hold for the long term, it might not be a bad buy at $1,500. We go from 198 to how about another one? This is a copy of Uncanny X-Men number 266 in a CGC 9.8 white pages, the first appearance of Gambit. Now, this book was offered by Grails. I forgot to mention before that that other book was offered by Elite Comics 11. So they're listing this book for $795. To me, just off the top of my head, I do not think it's a bad deal, but let's check out the GPA data. As we get into it, you can see the last sale for this book was $750 just this month. The 90-day average was $739 on 43 sales. The 12-month rolling average, $737 on 160 sales. In 2022, the average was $882, and in 2021, the average was $995, just shy of $1,000. So we got about a 25% dip in this book, but again, we know there's a lot of copies out there. This book was printed in the 90s, so you know a ton of copies were printed back then. But a 9.8 for a character that hasn't debuted, again, if you're a long-term holder, and when I say long-term, guys, I'm talking anywhere from 10 to 20 to 20 plus years. I think a 9.8 for this book, a character that has yet to be introduced anywhere. There are rumors out there, of course, is going to show up in the Deadpool movie, but as a spoof from the Fox series that we never actually got. Regardless, I think $750 for a 9.8 for a major X-Men character. I actually think this one may be worth it. So if you're a huge X-Men fan and you love Gambit, check this one out on Grails. And what do we have here? Our third 9.8 of this video. However, this one is a fucking monster. Here we have a copy of Incredible Hulk number 181. We all know what this book is. The first full appearance of Wolverine in a CGC 9.8 and white pages to boot. I rarely see this book come up for sale, and I know just off the top of my head from other people telling me it has really come down in price over the past year or so. Now, this copy, they're asking $89,999 on Grails. Now, I know Wolverine is a popular character, guys. This book is super high grade. Not everybody's going to go out there and buy a book like this, but I'm going to pose a question to you because anytime I see a super high grade Bronze Age key or a super high grade Silver Age key, I'm going to ask you, when they're this expensive, $90,000, would you rather put the money towards a book like this in a 9.8 or possibly a Batman 1 restored copy or a really low grade like 0.5 Batman 1? What would you rather have? I'm posing that question to the community out there. Either way, when we get in the GPA data, you can see the last sale for this book was only $72,000 back in June. So Grails right off the bat, they're asking $90,000 for this book. I'm not too sure how many 9.8s are on the census. I didn't want to go ahead and pull census data for some of these books, considering that most of them are Bronze Age books that are going to appear on this list. But either way, no 90-day average for this one. The 12-month rolling average was even $82,500 on 6 sales. So again, a number of sales at a 9.8 in this book. They're asking about $7,000 and change over the 12-month average, about $18,000 over the last sale. 2022, the average was $99,429. So that is quite a dip in the market for this book in a 9.8. In 2021 average though, guys, it wasn't that bad. It's actually $69,083. So right now, the last sale is outpacing the 2021 average. To me, that's actually a decent sign because a lot of the books right now that have come down, they're still way below the 2021 average. You guys let me know what you think. Right now, is this book bottomed at $72,000? Would you pay up for $90,000? Of course, I'm not sure if the other books were white pages. That may play a factor into the pricing of this book. Either way, I'm dying to know what you guys think. Next up, let's talk about a book that has really piqued my interest when I saw this book for sale on Diamond Comic Club. So we featured the big 3 of the Instagram sellers: Elite Comics 11, Grails, and now Diamond Comic Club. They have a CGC 9.0 Werewolf by Night 32, the first appearance of Moon Knight, with that incredible Moon Knight label by CGC. So CGC has done a lot of these labels. To me, this one is one of the best that they have done, and I haven't seen many of them, Werewolf by Night 32, with this label, and it really makes the cover stand out. Not to mention, this book from the Bronze Age has got to be one of the better covers out there. You guys know when I talk about Bronze Age books, I have a top 5 that I always talk about: ASM 129, Giant Size X-Men 1, Marvel Spotlight 5, Incredible Hulk 181, 180. This one is right behind it, and of course Tomb of Dracula 10 are probably the biggest Bronze Age keys out there in my opinion. This book has taken a beating over the past couple of years, right after that Moon Knight series that everybody hated. To me, I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was great. But now is the time to buy this book? I'm asking you. I'm not saying that as a statement. Is it a good time? They're actually asking $2,349 or best offer right now for this book. Like I said before, I haven't seen too many with this label that may be factoring in to the price of this book. Regardless, as we get into the GPA data, you can see the last sale for this book in this grade, a 9.0, was $2,213, and yet again off-white to white pages. The 90-day average was $2,492 on just 6 sales. The 12-month rolling average, $2,744 on 19 sales. In 2022, the average was $4,717, and in 2021, an insane $5,202. To me, this book has been cut in half and then some. Now is the time, guys. I'm asking you, is it the right time to pick up this book? I've always loved this cover. I enjoy the character. Not one of my favorite Marvel characters, definitely not. But with that Marvel label in a super high grade grade and a 9.0. And I always say, if you're going to buy bronze, you got to buy higher grade because there's so many copies out there. I'm really thinking about purchasing this book. Let me know in the comments what you think. All right, so let's check out a raw book they have for sale. I never see too many raw books for sale on any of these three big boy sellers on Instagram, but here we have a really beat up copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 14. Now, if you look at the cover, it is completely destroyed. Somebody read the hell out of this book, probably one of their favorite books in their collection when they were growing up, and they're asking $999. Now, they do stipulate that it's an estimated grade of a 1.0. I'm assuming it's complete. I'm assuming everything's there and there's no resto. They're calling it a 1.0. For me, when I see a book in this condition, to me, I think it's a 0.5. I'm not especially going to pay $1,000 for a book that looks like this. I think if you go back and check out some of the grades like a 1.0, a 0.5, a 1.5, you can get better looking copies of this book for cheaper than what they're asking, or around what they're asking at $1,000. But either way, we're going to go ahead and look at GPA and check out the data for a 0.5 CGC copy. And the last sale was back in August for $779. The 90-day average again was that $779 because only one book and a 0.5 sold for the past 3 months. The 12-month rolling average, $685 on just 4 sales. The 2022 average, $761 on 2 sales. And in 2021, $821. Remarkably stable in a 0.5 grade, but I always say with silver especially, I try not to go after 0.5s only for the fact that to pay up for a little bit more for a 1.0 is definitely worth it. Presentation matters in all books, whether it's a Silver Age book, whether it's a Bronze Age book. Even the Bronze Age with the higher grades, you want to make sure the spine looks all right, that the wrap looks good. Silver Age is more about, missing pieces, is there Marvel chipping, stuff like that. So to me, presentation of this book doesn't justify the price. But again, that's just me. I think you can go out and get it like a 1.0 or 1.5 for around $1,500. That's where I'd rather put my money in a better looking copy. But again, I'm always asking you my opinion, and I'm giving you my opinion. That's what I do here on the channel. I try to help anyone out that I can, just give tips that I've learned from collecting comics my entire life. And the last book we're going to take a look at is another Bronze Age key, believe it or not. Here we have a giant size X-Men 1 in a CGC 7.5 off-white to white pages by Elite Comics 11. They're asking $2,799. Now, for the life of me, I know that the giant size X-Men 1, especially this book, has gotten demolished over the past couple of years. At one point, it was so freaking hot, going up anywhere from 50 to 75% in like 2 weeks' time. I remember it because that's when I bought my copy. Hence, I no longer have that copy. I traded it for my Batman number 1. Regardless, guys, we're going to check out the GPA data. You can see the last sale is right at the ask of $2,739 just this month. The 90-day average, $3,117 on 6 sales. So that's actually not a bad price considering if you look at the 90-day average, you have about a $400 difference in price. The 12-month rolling average, $3,398 on 35 sales. In 2022, the average was $4,393. In 2021, it's even higher and crazier at $5,145. So again, if you held on through the crash, I'm saying to you right now, do not sell your copy. This book will come back. I am not sure how long it's going to take. Probably once we get the X-Men in the MCU, and that is going to be for a very long time. But again, if you're buying this book right now or any Bronze Age key, it's for the extreme long term. If you love the character, buy the book and you will never feel sad. Other than that, I probably wouldn't be buying anything. If you're not a historian about comics, if you don't know the characters, stay away from any of these books. But regardless, I think they're asking around the right price for this book. The presentation looks good. The colors are not bad. For me, preferably, I'd rather have the book be whiter. There's a bit of tanning on the right side of the book. The reds on the book needs to be a little sharper if I was going to buy it. But other than that, I like the grade at a 7.5. I prefer white pages, but not a bad deal here on Instagram. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Do me a favor, let me know in the comments, do you like this format? Do you like looking at books that are for sale right now on these big sellers on Instagram or anywhere out there? I do these on eBay, I do these on Heritage, Comic Connect, anything you could think of. I don't mind posting books that I think are good deals, bad deals, or just giving you information about these books. That's really what I'm doing. So drop me in the comments if you want to see more of this stuff or if you don't. With that said, this is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles saying thank you for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon.